Yes, people, what's going on? Zigal Talks Football. We're back again with another video. And today on Vibes on the 6, we got some interesting stuff for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Manchester United nearly escaped versus Coventry. We're going to get into that. And also, Man City scraped it past Chelsea as we got CB, Vader, and Andrew to also speak about that. Liverpool won their game this weekend, going joint top with Arsenal. And Arsenal, of course, going top of the Premier League after win against Wolves, convincing win from us, of course. And we have a good little run away from home. We just unfortunately had 2 poor games at home recently. And yeah, Tottenham. How on earth did Udogie get injured in the middle of their 17-day break? It just doesn't make sense. But we're gonna get into all that plus more. It looks like Udogie's out for the season, and yeah. Tottenham might be in trouble. Pedro Porro might also be out for the Arsenal game. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, do me a favor, people. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me get all the people right now watching on X. You can come join us on YouTube to check out all the exclusive content that you don't see on X. And of course, everybody watching on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are currently on the road to 27K subscribers. We're literally 300 away from getting to 27K. So let's try to get to 27K very, very soon. And yeah, first, I'm going to bring in the Liverpool fan. He's a winner this week. He's happy. My boy, a.k.a. Gary Neville. Sarib, how you doing?
Yeah, bro, I'm good. I'm better. From last week to this week has been tough. Obviously, getting knocked out of the Europa League, then losing to Atalanta a couple of days before that, the Palace loss. But to accumulate into this, we got a win against Atalanta. Fine, we got knocked out, but it's a win, and we broke our hoodoo at Fulham away, where we don't really win. So yeah, I'm good again. I'm a good guy. The title race is on again. There
you go. You know what? Your fan base and your players don't really seem confident. I seen Trent come out with his thing, but we're going to talk about Trent in a second. Andrew, how you doing? Chelsea fan in the building.
I think you're on
mute. You're on mute. You're on mute, Andrew. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Andrew.
Rookie mistake. Unbelievable. Disappointed overall. Seeing the other semi-final that just finished. Yeah, disappointed overall, but used to it now. Not finishing.
And then finally, we got Vader. We also have a couple more guys coming, so don't go nowhere. Jay should be joining us any moment now. And we also have CB. So yeah, Vader, how you doing? He's got to make his entrance.
I'm good. Thanks for having me on, man. Pleasure to be on the panel with you fellas today. I know we got a lot to talk about. I know there's a couple things that y'all want to throw at City. I'm ready to defend it. But hey, good to see you two at the top of the league right now. Enjoy it.
Listen, you're lucky you didn't play a Premier League game this week, because I felt like Chelsea didn't give you that much of a battle. Somebody else in the Premier League would have actually maybe taken points off you.
Ooh, I don't, sir. That's for you to address.
Yeah, I'm saying obviously the cup it goes to penalties. But if you play like that in the Premier League, you definitely would have got a draw or something.
The only difference is Chelsea seeing us for a third time, maybe a little more familiar. We wouldn't have seen a team for the third time.
No one plays against. We only play that against City in the Premier League. No one else does. So we've done it 3 times.
Yeah, it's true.
So no one else does that.
Everybody else would have sat back and chilled and defended for their lives. You guys actually came out in the
we're the only team to do that this season.
The Pride of London showed.
Yeah. Do me a favor, people. Hit that like button right now. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Let's get straight into it. First, we got to talk about this is very random. We don't usually speak about clubs lower down the table that often, but Nottingham Forest did something very, very unprecedented. They went after the referees on their social media account. They went in. When I say they went in, they went in. This is what they said. 3 extremely poor decisions, 3 penalties not given, which simply cannot be accepted. It cannot accept. We warned the PGOL. The VAR referee today is a Luton fan before the game, but did not change him. And our patience is being tested. Has been tested multiple times. Nottingham Forest will now consider their options. This is a threat to the Premier League that they're going to take legal action. This is unprecedented in the sense. And you know something? I just want to show you guys the decisions themselves. Ashley Young, he's lucky he stayed on the pitch. First call, he kicks the player's foot instead of the ball. Second one, handball in the box, no card, no call. Then finally, he takes out Callum Hudson-Odoi in the box once again, and nothing. Today, literally, he had a hat trick of potential penalty decisions, and none of them were given. This is the standard of the refereeing in the Premier League. What do you guys think off the back of seeing this debacle?
Well, I didn't see the game, so obviously,
I didn't see the game.
So I didn't see the game, so I'm just going off your. And the thing is obviously me. I'm not a moaner of referees. Yeah, like referees make mistakes. Yeah, and it happens. Like Spurs, I think Spurs have had 1 penalty or 0 penalties this season. Do you think that there hasn't been numerous penalty shouts that Spurs should and could have got? It's like certain things are going to be subjective regardless of VAR. You can see something like the McAllister. Is it the McAllister thing?
McAllister Doku, yeah.
Yeah, so even you can see an incident and you can still have different opinions as to whether or not it's a penalty.
But then
Like, it's not.
there's subjectiveness and then there's sense. These referees lack sense. You can
No,
see
but in your perspective, in your perspective, they lack sense. There's a difference between making mistakes, yeah, and being on the wrong side of 50-50 calls. I've seen a guy come on this show, yeah, and there's been 50-50 calls, and he said, oh my God, the refs are terrible. They made a mistake. I'm like, these were 50-50 calls, and they went against you. So without seeing what happened with Forest, I can't just be like, obviously there's an emotive reaction. You're at the bottom, you're playing a relegation rival, you've seen decisions not go for you, you feel wronged. I hear that, you know? But for example, I've seen the teams like Wolves get horrible decisions this season, like really bad decisions. And I don't think I've ever seen Wolves put something out this strongly worded. And
also, did they question who the VAR?
They questioned the integrity. They questioned the integrity of
they questioned the integrity. They said this guy not even that this guy supports Everton. This guy supports Luton, and he's trying to jeopardize this game. Do you know how ridiculous that is? Just to suggest that somebody's going to lose their job because they support another team, which may or may not factor into the reckoning.
How many games has this guy been on with other relegation threatened teams?
That's what I'm saying. Oh, so Burnley fans are like, hold on. Hold on. You remember that goal he disallowed back on the 4th week of the season?
Do you remember that corner that wasn't given?
To me, this looks like this would never be okayed by anybody up top. This must have been the owner who just took over that Twitter.
Bro, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the owner, I know there was something else that happened with the owner. I can't remember what it was, but he was upset about some. The thing is, a lot of these clubs now at the bottom, there's this. It's almost like it's paranoia. Yeah, like the league's out to get me. Yeah, like the Big Six, the Premier League mafia. Blah. They run this narrative, and to me, it's a bit like conspiracy theories.
Conspiracy Bill.
No, it's like one day maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong and I just can't see the conspiracy right now. But until that day, I'm gonna look at you with the same mentality of people that wrap tin foil around their head and try and step in microwaves. Do you see what I mean? Up until that point, I'm just gonna be like very.
People are saying, "Where's CB?" Yeah, what?
Yeah. Where is he? Where is he?
He was literally going in last time. He was going in. But yeah, we're gonna get into all of that. Do you guys have anything to say on the referee situation, or you just want to kind of move on?
I mean,
like I said, I can't. I haven't even seen the highlights, so I can't even
No, fair enough.
You know what I don't like though, with regards to the highlights. I don't like that they don't put the questionable moments in games. Some of those recaps. Yeah. I don't like that they keep that out. So when Jay's talking about conspiracy theories, when you take that information out of the game, when you take it from fans that want to go back and watch it and they don't have the opportunity to, then you're like, what's going on here? Why can't I see this? Why don't I have access to this? So yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good, but two teams fighting relegation, I can understand why Forest.
Everton going to the Merseyside derby on the back of a win now. So that's something.
All right, what are you saying, Sarab? Do you have any thoughts on this?
It's not even about the game that Nottingham Forest played. Exactly, not even about the decisions in that game. This has been happening for a very, very long time, even before this season, and we've all been on the backhand of it. City fans, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Tottenham, we've all had that from the poor refereeing decisions. We had it early in the season. If all of you remember the game against Tottenham, yes, Tottenham got the win, but that decision was nonsense, and that was down to VAR. You can say that's robbery. You can say that. Then you can talk about today, which you had probably Nottingham Forest had 3 clear penalties. Arsenal against Brentford last season. It's happened over and over and over and over again. And I do understand why can't you have someone that's just level-headed? You know, you might say that he's a Luton fan, he's this and that, but there's clearly something to it, because why would he not give those penalties? You can clearly see those are penalties. That these are not even subjective. These are, you can see it with your own eyes. We all watch football. We all have sense. We all have our own opinions.
But we haven't seen it. As in, Igal's given us stills. Igal showed us stills of Newcastle versus Arsenal, and told us that the ball went out of the line, and Gabriel got fouled. Do you see what I mean? It's still subjective. As in, I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch these in a second. I'm gonna watch these in the background. Just so keep going, and I'm gonna be like, okay, fuck it now.
And then you got like
they're all bad. They're all bad. Maybe one of them isn't, but in my opinion, they're all pretty bad calls. But yeah, I think that's enough, because clearly you guys haven't watched the Nottingham Forest Everton game, so we're gonna keep it moving from there. We'll get to talking about Chelsea and everything else in a second. Before we do that, Jay, your boy Udogie, he's out for 3 months. He's gonna miss the Euros also. What the hell happened?
To me, it sounds like a player putting his club first and making sure he gets his surgery so he's fit, ready for next season. So. If he gets, he should be able to be back for pre-season and blah blah blah. I think he's had some niggles this season. So I think they've decided that he needs to be rectified. And I like this. I don't like kicking the can down the road. Like, you know, keep going with it until the guy just breaks down. You know, it's for me. It's disappointing. Obviously, he's going to miss the last 6 games. Obviously, Villa won again today, so there's 6 points. Starting to get a few injuries now. It's not looking good, bruv. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna moan about it. He's an important player for us. But you know, if one player goes down and you suddenly, you know, shit the bed.
As a Tottenham fan, do you think he's been overplayed? It's such a young player, such a demanding league.
No.
Do you think that's been a factor to his injury or not?
Nah, I mean, like he's like 20 now. We'll have Champions League or Europa League next season. So, you know, if he can't play a full, I mean, we went out of the cups relatively early, fourth round, I think, a 3rd round, 4th round. So, I would be like, if you're of that age, I'd expect you to be playing 38 game seasons. Like, not, you don't have to, but I suppose your body's up for it. But yeah,
hold on, Jay. Hold on. You think this is we've looked at the standings. Newcastle are 10 points off of us. We've got, what is it? We've got 6 games left in the season. There's not much to really do. Go take the surgery and be ready for us next season. You think that's what happened here?
I think there's an element of, if we don't do, okay, is this going to heal on its own? If it's not going to heal on its own, what's the best course of action? Is it rest or is it surgery? Okay, cool. Okay, at that point now, it's like, okay, what is the impact of you having surgery on our season now and the impact on yourself? So, for example, if you want to brave it and firm it, maybe you can go to the Euros, but the flip side is you could exacerbate the injury and you could be out for longer. Yeah. So
even before Euros, you think you're going to miss, you think top 5 is in jeopardy?
Of course, it's, the thing is of course it's in jeopardy because Villa are cooking at the moment. So it's in jeopardy regardless of whether or not Udogie was injured or not. Do you know what I mean? So the fact he's injured just makes it more difficult for us to achieve that what we're trying to achieve. But okay. I'm not going to put the players' long-term health in jeopardy and make Champions League. So,
all right, Sarah, you have anything else on this?
No, not really. I just feel like the injury to Udogie is obviously it's sad to see, because I thought he was the best left back this season for me in the Premier League, especially the first half of the season. I thought he was
Who takes that spot now when we do team of the seasons end of the year?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you, and I don't think any of us could tell you. I think that's very subjective, because I think no one's really stood out in that left back area. Arsenal have had chop and change, Liverpool have had chop and change, Chelsea with Chilwell, Cucurella, Man City as well have chop and changed. You know, we can't really put one name, but over the season, I'd probably still say Udogie was the pinnacle for me.
Egal's really happy. I know he's holding back his smile, but he's glad that he doesn't have to play him in Spurs.
No, I'm genuinely asking a question. You're making it seem like I have an agenda behind it.
No. I'm just saying, but you're happy that he's out because you're about to face you're facing Spurs without him.
Oh yeah, 100%. A team having a player out ahead of a big game like this is a hindrance, and now they're gonna have to play.
Especially where Spurs play with their fullbacks. It's definitely
and also Pedro Porro might also be out if I'm not mistaken. So Spurs, it could be peak for them.
Wow.
I just saw the Everton Forest thing. I just watched the highlights.
Right.
Yeah.
So
the handball's subjective for me.
Okay. So even if I'm watching it now, even the first one, you can make the argument how much did Young kick him?
It looks weird.
As in for Reina to go down like that, did Young kick him hard enough for him to fall like that? And then you're getting into, okay, if the player starts exaggerating the contract and the this and that, maybe the rest thought it wasn't enough for him to go down. Like I could see that being a penalty, but also I would also argue the contact from Young on Reina. How much contact is there truly for Reina to go down like that? So
the handball for me is subjective because he's in the air. So where do you want to put it?
I personally would have given the handball because I can
see it. No, that's what I say. It's subjective. The last
I'm just going with the narrative of them saying.
So do you think they just lost their head, or do you think it's
handball under their rules? It should be handball.
Do you think it's justified, or Nottingham Forest lost their heads?
Oh yeah,
I think Forest should have had a penalty, at least one.
Yeah, that Hudson-Odoi one's definitely the one. Hudson-Odoi one, the second half, I think it's a definite penalty.
I think if you're the referee and you don't give that first one, I would probably be looking to give that second one. I know you don't do cumulative decisions, but I'd be like, okay, that's a penalty.
Yeah, that one definitely is because he's he's got the ball.
Yeah,
Ashian's coming in from behind, doesn't even touch the ball. The ball doesn't move in opposite direction, like something like that. Okay, he doesn't. Definite penalty for that one.
All right. You know what? CB is not here yet, so we're just we'll quickly talk about the United
game. He's not showing up, man. He's not showing up.
You gotta message him. Be like, yo, you're hiding. Let's see if he shows up. But first, before we go any further, do me a favor, guys. Hit that like button right now. We've already spoken about the first two topics. We're now going to speak about the Man United Coventry game. And what a game that was. I turned off the game when I thought Man United were going to win 3-0 up. Next thing you know, 79th minute, there is 2-3. I tuned back in. I'm like, yo, Coventry's got a chance. Then they scored the third goal. And if I'm not mistaken, there was a VAR decision that ruled off another Coventry goal or
right at the end of extra time as well. Not even right at the end of extra time. It was offside, but I would just hope that they were just I was hoping they would just go. No, let's give it. Let's just give it.
It was just so close.
That's when I was really hoping for a shit refereeing decision. It would have been that time.
Yeah, I needed
you don't want a game decided on shit refereeing decision.
Why couldn't they be incompetent in that game? I don't understand.
But was it clear and obvious? That's the question I have for you guys. Was that clear and obvious?
The angle looked like he was off. The angle.
I think Kendall tweeted about it. Let me just show you guys. With this image that I see, it looks like his foot is on the line.
That's the problem. The angle's not dead. The problem is the angle literally is at an angle, so it's not straight on. That's the problem. It's like that.
Yeah, but the thing is, if they say it's offside, I mean, it's
they do the lines. So.
No, but look at the line in his foot. It looks like they're drawing the line.
This is my point. Is that?
But look at the other guys.
There's no if I'm going to be fair, the logic of Coventry making the final is a better narrative than Man United.
Yes,
Coventry deserved it.
So my point is if you're gonna conspiracy theory something, why wouldn't you put Coventry through? like in that moment.
Exactly.
Why is the better narrative a Man United Man City final again?
See, Jay, you're looking at narrative and you're not thinking of viewership.
No, but no, I'm looking at it from the point of view of like whenever I think about conspiracy, I'm like, I don't know if anybody knows about Lance Armstrong or blah blah blah, but when you know about like Lance Armstrong, or when you think about corruption, you understand the sheer level of complicity is required from how many people is required in order to pull something like this off. And then when you know that, you automatically disregard it because you know that there's random people who would have to potentially put their job
like
on
the 115 that's over my club's head.
No, but anyway, Vaya.
Oh, there you are. There it is. There it is. Go ahead.
I get what you're saying, and all I'm saying is that narratives can be swayed in any way, shape, or form. So United made it through. I think there's no reason, like when Coventry got a last minute goal against Wolves, you know, like, as in like it's United losing, being 3-0 up and losing 4-3. Tell me that's not the greatest story of all time.
Greatest comeback in cup history. Greatest comeback in cup history.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, I just, for me, like as soon as these things happen, you know, you'll start seeing pixelated lines and look at where his foot is. It's AI. It's AI. His foot wasn't there.
The ironic thing is, if that was in the Championship, Coventry would have won the game today because they don't do VAR in the Championship.
Yeah.
Listen, I just think it doesn't matter what happened in this game. Manchester United won, but they leave embarrassed. Yeah. 3-0 up. You let Coventry get back into this game. Also, on the other hand, Coventry, you get a round of applause. This was a moment of magic. Credit to you, even though you lost. At the end of the day, you did everything you could. You threw the kitchen sink at them. And you applaud them and say that they deserved it. Today, Manchester United got lucky. They didn't deserve it. And maybe we got robbed. We got robbed of a good moment.
But facts don't care about your feelings. At the end of the day, the results and the
if United win the cup,
Man United have made back-to-back FA Cup finals. They won the League Cup last season. Like that's what, like, people in the future, they won't have the context of living through the season like we have to be like, oh my God.
I think this is a good point now. Back-to-back FA Cup finals, 3 cup finals in Ten Hag's 2 seasons. Does he deserve a little bit more credit?
100%.
Yes.
No,
yes.
100%.
No, because the thing is like, let me just really dive in and then Veta can take on. Because the thing is, if it's about winning, like, and this is the problem where it's about fans and the narratives. I've always been a big fan of saying, well, you as a fan, you live the moments. So if you just win a trophy, you'll have great moments of winning the trophy, but in between, you might hate life. Yeah, and I get that. But you win trophies. So my flip point is that if you are a destination first person, yeah, the trophies are the most important thing. And I think that any top level competitive club, trophies are the most important thing. How you get there also matters. And it's why you can win a trophy like Van Gaal did and still get sacked. It's why you can win an FA Cup like Conte did at Chelsea and still get sacked. At certain clubs, winning a cup is not enough to mitigate all the other bullshit you might be doing. Do you see what I mean? And so I think United then just need to make is the juice worth the squeeze argument. Like, say, okay, we're in this situation now, and if we give Ten Hag better players, can he improve? Or am I looking at this system thinking there's fundamental flaws, but are the fundamental flaws down to the players that they've got? It's a chicken and the egg scenario. And you could make the argument, and I would make the argument, that 3 cup finals in 2 years, a 3rd place, a lot of injuries, top 6. I think there's enough evidence there if you look at the facts, rather than how you feel about performances and sets up and we're the worst coach team in the league.
Let me stop you right there. Big up Blue Chip TV. He said big up to Eagle. Also, very small mention to our little gem, sorry. Hopefully, final the final day.
He's on my channel. He's on my channel. He's a big.
I like saying it's like it's an inside joke. Don't worry. That's not for you.
Final
That's
day
for
finish.
Why do you want a final day finish?
Vader, you had something to say on. Yeah, they're talking about winning the league on the final day.
I know. Why do you want a final day
Vader, what you
finish?
Vader's like, give me.
No, but I think he's being realistic. He's being realistic. He is going to go down. To the
I don't know why.
Of course.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want that. I would rather the league wraps up as soon as possible. But
exactly.
go that way.
Yeah, I mean, I know everybody would prefer that, but for the drama, final day is going to be epic. We can remember
the neutral, not for us, Vader. For the neutral.
Everyone's excited. It's stress. It's stress, but when the results come in, and obviously if you happen to be on the winning end, now you're loving life.
You're a Man City fan. You're probably going to win the league next season. Me and the gal have not seen a league title with a gal for so long. I've not even experienced a league title with fans in the stadium. We are dying for a title. City would go win one next season.
Possibly.
Do you know what I mean? The emotion is much higher than you.
The emotion. No. I get all that, but what I'm saying is, on a final day win would be epic for you. Again, for all of you that have your channels, trust me, a final day would be crazy. I'm gonna say this: I think Ten Hag is done dirty for a few reasons, right? Like last season, he got results, and if you listen to United fans, listen, guys. Just a year ago, going into the FA final, if you listen to those fans, they were like, Ten Hag is doing this. Ten Hag's been doing that. His first year, look at what he's done. He's done better than Pep. He's done better than Klopp. He was compared to Arteta. It was madness. Not even a year later, they want this man out. And he's made it to another final. Now they want to talk about pretty football or consistency or style of play. The man's getting results.
Yeah.
So they want him out regardless, even though he's made it to this final. And you want to question how the games look and how confident or consistent they've been. Okay, whatever. But Ten Hag's been done dirty because they turned on this man in less than a year. Less than a year, with all that he's had to deal with. Right? He's got partially new ownership. So I can only imagine what he's got to do with regards to the boardroom and who he's got to listen to, not listen to. Man, the one thing I will agree, United fans, is Ten Hag should have never had the player decision power. Yeah. He should have never been the one to select who's coming in, who's playing, Give him the profile and not the Glazers, but Ineos or whatever. You guys go out and get it. And it looks like that's going to be the case. It looks like year 3 could be the case where all you do is coach and manage. They want to already get him out. I tuned into the Football Terrace briefly because I love the meltdowns. I love the psychoness that I see over there.
You'd have thought they lost.
You would have thought they lost. And I heard my man KJ, shout out to KJ, he's like, bring Ollie back. Let's bring Ollie back for an interim.
The last 5 games.
Yeah, the last 5 games. This is the craziness. United fans are bad. They're in the mud. They're sinking right now.
I think
Erik Ten Hag is done dirty only because they don't like how it looks.
And you know the problem with now the managerial managerial market. Now Nagelsmann has signed on with Germany. Bayern Munich are still in the hunt for a manager as well. So it's like if they wanted De Zerbi, I think he was on Bayern's list for some reason. But do you know what I mean? It's like
this is why sacking Arteta doesn't make sense with all the managerial changes.
It doesn't make sense.
With all the managerial changes, why would we throw ourselves in that situation when we necessarily don't need to?
You wouldn't.
But is it fear of the unknown enough rationale to do like as in?
Because it's not fear of the unknown.
It is. To me, it sounds like fear of it. It's like because if you immediately move on from critically assessing the job the manager's done, rather to say who could replace him, I will then position that as a fear of the unknown. I personally rather than breaking down whether or not he should have a job or not, because it's find another manager.
1 second. You know what I mean? On the reasons why Arteta should stay at Arsenal, probably on the 3rd page at the back in the bottom corner is all the other. It's all the other people.
There was a time ago.
His faces and pages.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
Big block letters like a child's book.
You couldn't question it. You couldn't question Arteta being in a job because Arsenal were really, really bad. And that's why I'm going to disagree with Vader, where he talks about them making to the final. In Arteta's first half season where he had at Arsenal, he made an FA Cup final and won it. that they didn't progress from there. So it took a long time.
Yes.
Whereas that's why I think the fans have turned on Ten Hag, because they saw the highs of being third in the league last season. They thought they were going to push on.
Bro, they thought they were going to challenge.
That's why I think winning a cup.
But they were delusional back then. That's the thing. They had crazy standards in year one, and to hold the manager to the crazy standards in year one is crazy in year two.
That's why I agree with that. But
that's what Leverkusen do, isn't it?
The drop off is so crazy. The drop off is so much.
We can't call Terry delusional. Terry's one guy who's quite balanced most of the time, right? He came out and even said what do you call it? If you guys don't agree, fair. But he came out and even said, what do you call it? They signed Mason Mount, Amrabat, and Onana. They're challenging for the league.
Right. Yes, because even Terry, you'll probably admit this, even Terry as a fan, he will try and justify those signings even if you don't 100% back them. Because you will always try, because you'll always go, okay, I need to try and justify it myself because the player might become good or might not, but you need to justify it at the end. So it's like, if they win the cup, right? If they win the cup, if they win the cup, it's not going to be detailed that they just snuck past Coventry on the semi-final. It's just going to be their name on the cup. That's why I don't. And he would have arguably he could go to Ineos and go, hey, I know we've played rubbish this season, but now for the second season straight, I've got silverware.
You know what I need to tell the people in the chat? Do me a favor, hit that like button right now. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost anything. And if you haven't already done that,
stop it. Get some help.
Anyways,
let me see. I'm working on this. I'm trying to get my chat GBT to actually be able to go through the YouTube transcripts and find out certain transcripts when Terry and others are talking crazy or talking about the United fans, because I want to hold them accountable. The beauty about it, all this is on YouTube. All this is there. Just go back and see how they praised the manager, see how they talked about the future, see how they talked about players. They don't just crash and fall off the hill. It's also a game. You're also playing against an opponent. Now, the reason why I understand why Igal is saying I'm cool with Arteta. I'm not going to get rid of Arteta and then try and get something else, because listen, the reason why my manager may not be performing or may not be succeeding is when there's a Klopp and a Pep in front of him. But when he looks everywhere else, he's like, nah, I'm cool with this because everybody else I wouldn't take. One manager, Klopp, is leaving. So it's even looking more promising, right? So when some of these United fans are talking about how poor United are, we'll also look at the landscape. Stop talking about, I remember when United were this and United were that. Look at what's happening right now. Look at your squad and look at the rest of the landscape in terms of the clubs and the squads.
I agree.
You could honestly say Aston Villa are better than them. You can easily say that City, Arsenal, Liverpool are better than them. They're automatically out of top four because of that, right? And then Spurs, you can kind of question. But for United fans to be like, no, we should be better than this, you're still looking at things like you still have Sir Alex Ferguson. You're not that United anymore. This is your level. And Eric Ten Hag is playing at the level.
No Man United fan can literally say to me, we deserve to be in top four if you're coming to me that Kobe Mano is your best player. Doesn't make any sense.
Thank you, sir.
Doesn't make any sense. And these guys will probably crown Kobe Mano Player of the Year by the end of it on their own club's website. And he's played like 20 games this season or something like that. He looks good and stuff like that. But that's what I'm saying. They can't then go, oh yeah, well, we blame the manager fully. Now, you have to question the manager some of his stuff. That even today, some of his subs were crazy today, like taking Mino off. I didn't understand it. So they then lost total control of that midfield afterwards.
Of course.
But you then can't fully blame him if then you're saying to me that Kobe Mano is your best player, which means that you don't rate the rest of the squad. So then
I personally just view Manchester United as a club in limbo. They're waiting for a new manager. They're waiting for the summer. And this season is pretty much a write-off. The FA Cup is their only hope.
It's a bonus, It's a big bonus.
I'll say this. I'll say this real quick. I find it so refreshing, though. I find it so refreshing on the timeline with regards to some of the content. Shout out to the Football Terrace. There's no more blame the Glazers after these losses or poor performance. I find it so refreshing now that they can actually stop wrapping themselves in that blankie about it's the Glazers. It's the Glazers. They actually have to talk about the manager and talk about the players and deal with things like that.
No, but you do realize as fans, one thing we all do is we try to find something to blame. It's not our fault.
Hold
not
on,
our
hold on.
issue.
No,
You
easy,
do
Gal.
that.
No,
Yeah,
listen.
I
one
don't
second.
do that.
Easy. Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Majority of sports teams and fan bases across many different sports find some sort of reason why things are happening the way they happen. A lot of people don't always want to take accountability of themselves.
But I think also, but for that point, Igal, I think the easiest way for me not to do that is I just like to give credit to the opposition. That as in, like, as objectively, when you rate a performance, I'll immediately be like, okay, how did the opposition play against us?
Yeah.
Did they stop? And that will allow you to just put context. Like, I'll praise opposition the most of most people that you'll speak to, because your performances don't exist in a vacuum. Like you against Wolves, yeah? Like, on paper, Wolves were missing 6 starters. Like, literally 6 starters. But the game Wolves gave you was a tough game. Yeah, they gave you a tough game. It's enough to me to think, oh, if they had their starters, they could have beaten you. Or they definitely could have got a result. But I will then still say Arsenal did well in the second half. 3 days removed from a grueling match with Bayern Munich to get over the line. Do you see what I mean? But I wasn't super impressed by your performance. And I thought against a very depleted Wolves, you were a bit lucky. Do you know what I mean? They hit the bar and it goes out. You hit the bar, it goes in. Margins. Do you know what I mean?
I would say one, the goalkeeper made a great save. The other one, Trossard, top bins. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
I think that's know-how rather than luck. I think that's know-how, because Arsenal have done this for the past 2 years. This is not lucky. Like, we've seen Arsenal have these results before. They're a much more mature team. Honestly, a game like this 3-4 years ago, you can ask Igal yourself, and I think we're all in agreement. Arsenal would have probably lost that game.
I think if you look at who they were playing, so Juan could only play 45 minutes. No Kuna, no Neto. Sarabia could only play 15 minutes. Yeah, Lamina could only play half a game. No Semedo. Aït-Nouri couldn't start. Dawson's out for the season. Like, that's 6 of their starting 11. Yeah, and on the back of a long season. So that, to me, is like, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that Arsenal didn't deserve the win. I'm saying that their performance versus what they were up against, it wasn't like, you say know-how. I'm like, nah. Like, as in, that was very close to going in and Wolves going 1-0 up. And then they score 1 minute to go, half time. It's a bit scrappy. Jesus does well to get the ball out to him. Trossard doesn't really hit it that cleanly, hits across the ball, hits just the inside of. You're going to say know-how. I'm going to say these are very small margins from Arsenal.
Can I just say something, though?
It's a professional performance, Jay.
Yeah,
exactly.
It is a professional performance.
Yeah.
That's my definition of know-how.
And also, can we acknowledge Arsenal lost 2 games on the bounce?
Yeah,
you need to just somehow stop the rot.
Yeah.
You need to use anything to win. Because when you lose 2 games in a row and get knocked out of Europe, and lose against Aston Villa at home like that, away from home against a tough opponent, keep a clean sheet, score 2 goals, and also go back on top of the Premier League table again once more off the back of that, it is a major confidence boost. It's getting these players back in the headspace of, we got a goal at our hands. And you know what? It's just a moment for everyone to look around and say to yourself, you know what? We're not here. It's not a fluke. Like, I don't think that is a fluke. I think that is just combination of good planning, hard work, and respecting your opponent. Because we did not go into that game disrespecting them. And certain individuals in this team are still not up to the level that we need if we're going to be the best team in this league. We still need to improve our left back position. We still need to figure out what we're going to do with the forward/left midfield position going forward. But for now, we have enough to manage, and that's all I need.
Yeah, especially, I'll let you go as well, and you as well. I think at this point in the season, I think I wouldn't dwell too much into the performances. I'll dwell more into the results, because performances are going to come and go. Across the season, you can see over the last 2 years, Arsenal have been really, really impressive. This is such a small sample space to judge Arsenal. I think right now, with 6 games to go, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal all going for a title, it's just about getting the results. And I think what Arsenal showed on Friday is that when the chips are down, when there's some sort of doubt going into them, they can stop this they can basically stop the rot because, like Egal said, they're on the back of two losses.
Arsenal's next two games, obviously Chelsea and Spurs.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
of course, Man City play on Thursday.
Absolutely.
But Man City play after Arsenal on Sunday because I think Northern Dumb's at 2 p.m. UK time. So you need to be in a position where you've put all the pressure on Veta, even if he's got games in hand.
Yeah.
You've got a decent, I think it'll be a 4-point lead if you win both games. And City obviously win theirs or something like that. Their one game. It'll be like a 4-point lead going into Veta's game. I know Veta said he's worried about Nottingham Forest. That's fair, but I don't know what mindset Nottingham Forest will be in after today's game, whether they'll be like, shit, we're already down, or no, we got robbed. Now we're gonna take it. Now we're gonna try and fight for it. So you need to be in a position. And also, Veta's games are Brighton away, which won't be easy, as we know. But it's a quick turnaround. It's Thursday, Sunday as well. And Pep's already saying they're leggy and stuff like that. Even if they've got like a 5-day rest now, it's like still a quick turnaround when it comes to it. So you need to be in a position where, like we've said, it's not about performances now at this end of the season.
Results.
If you win the next games all 1-0, five games 1-0, and it leads you being winning the title, who cares?
Yeah.
We just need to be there and thereabouts for City to drop points where we can't control our own destiny.
Yeah, this is the result that where sorry, I'll let you go there. It's like this is the result for me when I'm looking at it and I'm saying, well, you have to win this. Like the context of the game, who you play, you have to beat Wolves. Again, you have to beat Chelsea. You're playing at home, blah blah blah. And then obviously you have to beat Tottenham. You just have to keep winning. Liverpool's result was more impressive for me today because I thought Fulham looked on it, and Fulham.
We're gonna get to Liverpool. Don't jump the gun. Let Vader say his piece, and then we'll get back to it.
I mean, I often disagree with I just want the wins, right? Like, yes, you do, but you don't want to give hope or life to the next team that you face, right? So if Arsenal are like getting 1-0 for 2 consecutive games, you don't want to give hope to that maybe relegation team you're facing next, or that team that smells blood and then will attack you. So when you win comfortably, when you look dominant, and I'm very familiar with this, you get teams that actually kind of lose the match before they even play you. You get teams that actually concede and say, you know what, we're just gonna defend and hope for our best. Now, Arsenal getting this result, it's really important. I think you win when you can. The applied pressure, I don't know if it really hits City like that. We've been in this games in hand, drop like close in points. We know that if we handle business, we go back top of the league. So it's not quite that same pressure, but playing ahead of us is key. We go back to playing Thursday, Sunday. And I think that rhythm in terms of like kind of like that Champions League flow, I think would sit well, because there's some players when we think of locker room, and it more so with City because of the amount of rotation. I think players being able to get into that rotation again is huge. Arteta doesn't quite show to have that rotation, so maybe players aren't really looking over their shoulders or upset that they're not playing. But the fact that we have a Thursday, Sunday, I'm actually eager to that. And Surfer knows the game after that one. I'm worried about the Nottingham Forest game, and I think them and this result actually sucks, because now they have to still go out and try to get that points. They have to still go out and try to get away from this relegation.
I remember these games are both away as well. They're not not ones at the attack. They're both away as well.
Exactly.
It's a quick turnaround. So that's what I mean. Veta wins 1-0 both games. He might focus on the performance, but he's always going to take the 1-0 straight away first.
I've seen something about Vader's team and his fixtures. Last season, he drew against Brighton and Forest away, and he lost to Tottenham. So that's and if you look at the reverse picture this season, he drew against Tottenham and he lost to Wolves. So it's not like he's consistently beating these teams. The only teams
after they won the title though, wasn't that one?
The only teams out of the teams that are left in the running that he beat in the home leg and also beat in the away leg last season is Fulham and West Ham.
You know what I love though? I love the full circle. I love when I see Egal and Hussam doing content and they want to rate who's got the tougher fixtures. And now they come around. Now it's this time. And now Egal happens to notice, oh, you know what? Well, City did quite get the results against these clubs. And oh, maybe it is a little tougher than before. I love this. I just sit back and I just listen.
You do have 4 away fixtures and 2 home games.
So now, does it look like I have a harder fixture list moving forward, or is it still Arsenal?
We'll get into that because
all right.
I want to
certain somebody's here, and we're gonna have to wait on Liverpool. Big up,
Whoa! CB's in the building. I didn't expect it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect.
I don't duck no smoke. I don't duck no smoke. I just want to say.
I know you had questions for me for my timely or untimely arrival. You wanna share what was the delay?
Now, right now, I was on playback running an emergency meeting with the rest of my fan base, talking about the issues within our club. You know, as the people's champ.
Always emergency meetings with Chelsea. You know,
right now we're in the sewers.
At a certain point, they just become meetings. Do you know what I mean? They just
get rid of the emergency part.
Yeah.
It's just what it's become because you know what I'm saying. I am what they call negative agenda merchant, all of that. So I decided last week, because I was under fire for talking about Enzo Fernandez, saying that they're using his hernia injury for why he's not been performing well and he shouldn't start. The fan base came after me and said, if you don't back the team, you're a fake fan. Our biggest games of the season, you're being negative. I said, okay, I'm going to link up with Ultra Positivity Egal and we're going to pitch the team. Once did I say, though, that the players will perform. I didn't mention one player performance. I mentioned my club's heritage. I mentioned the fact that we are Chelsea. At the end of the day, we go to Wembley and we show up. Ultimately, the players that are employed by the club are in the sewers. They are clowns.
I think Chelsea do show up a lot of the time. They might not win like games, but like the performance wise, as in they show up in the games, as in when they play playing City, Liverpool, whatever, they go to these games and these teams they're playing, regardless of Chelsea's position in the league, they are getting a game.
The last 8 as well, I think they've been really good as well. I think the results for Chelsea have been really positive. I don't know exactly, but I saw like
we've only lost 1 league game
in the last 8 games before this game.
There is draws against the bottom 2, man. I'm not taking that.
We'll get to it later, but I'm hoping you got a little something for Arsenal this week.
Well, like I said, I don't trust these guys to win 2 games in a row going into this.
Well, fortunately, you didn't win your last game, so there we go.
Let Vader say his thing, because if I'm not mistaken, it's the Chelsea City game. Am I wrong to think City? 1 second, I can't find your video. I'm gonna find your video.
Okay.
I'm gonna find your video, but
let me play my incorrect take. Let me pick a
No, I was right. I was right. I said City would win.
Yeah. I think
you said they'd slap us, if I recall you
saying. Yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah, the slapping was a little too much. Slapping was a little too much. But
he said it on all games against City, they'll slap us. That's what he said.
No. I did say you'd pick up points against City at home.
He is an Arsenal fan, if you remember that. He wants the worst for Chelsea.
No, I'm just fine. It's just I just want to make sure he remembers that though.
I understand. I get the energy. I get the energy because you saw me play against Real Madrid, 14 UCLs in the Champions League, and they did what they had to do, went into extra time, penalties, and you saw blood, you saw vulnerability, you saw not quite the Saka limp, but you saw me limping because I wasn't quite at my strength, and you were like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a result. CB."
Yeah, no, definitely. Do you know what it is though? Do you know what? I'll let you go and I'll respond because I deserve a stern telling off on behalf of my team. So I'm gonna sit here, pause, and take it.
Yeah. And I'm not even gonna address your team because your team's been your team all season long. Your team's been, like Patrick, true City fan, said, they've been bums. So I'm not even gonna address the team. But I'm going to address you.
You turned around. You changed.
That's your first win against them this season. And
this is what I want to talk about. I want to talk about wins. I want to talk about if there's any club recently. If there's any club there, you're going to say, let me look up the dictionary. Let me go to Wikipedia. What's wins? You're going to see Manchester City. CB was talking to me like I don't do this. CB was talking to me like I didn't just win the treble. CB was telling me the mentality of your players like Haaland and KDB. I would never accept that at my club. Well, I needed KDB, weak mentality and all, as you want to refer to it. I needed him yesterday. I needed him to actually put in that result and get this win to go to the FA final to defend this title. Now, I take no problems falling out of UCL when it's Real Madrid on the other side. But best believe there would have been an emergency city meeting had we crashed. It would have been an emergency meeting because Chelsea are no longer Chelsea. Until I see Abramovich come back, y'all ain't at that level anymore. A lot of you guys want Poch out. Poch ain't the problem.
I think that's extremely harsh. Vaden.
I'm going to be extremely harsh because you missed the preview show on how CB wanted to talk about two. You wanted to talk about the 2 stars. You wanted to talk about Porto. You want to remind me of Champions League. I'm just saying this FA. Yes, sir, for you. Sir, for
I know.
Are you Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea, man. Up the Chelsea, man.
But I respect CB. I respect you coming back on the show talking about it. And obviously, you got to back your team whenever it happens. Just I want to remind the world, because Igal, I know this channel gets out to the world. You may not get the necessarily likes that you should be getting, but I know the world sees this. Respect Manchester City.
Now
we're not Manchester City 24 years ago. All right.
Can I say my piece though?
You will be after you get found guilty. You will be.
Can I say my piece?
Let him finish, guys. Let him finish.
We're not the Manchester City from 24 years ago. But like I said this on the last show, Igal, Jay, Aston Villa, 24 years from now, you guys can be like me. You guys can be taking on a Real Madrid. You guys can keep a Liverpool as bridesmaids and best challengers. You guys can do that in the future. Just takes a little time and confidence and hope in a fan base that backs their team, even when they're in League Two.
The stuffing of money into drawers and duffel bags, and you take this, I'm gonna walk away from the desk, don't mind me, kind of, allegedly as well. Allegedly.
Can I just say he's talked like they've pammed us 4-0. Right? His promo right there was very good, right? And it wasn't on the terrace yesterday. You let Patrick do all that for you yesterday. Your promo, as if you've come on the pitch and literally spanked us.
Surfer, did you not see me limp off the pitch?
One second.
I know.
Surfer,
I'm just saying.
Did you feel like Chelsea got robbed the penalty?
We robbed. Not to the extent of that. It's the whole thing to talk about the game, because I don't know what handball is, because one was awarded today and I didn't think that was a handball. Yesterday's was more of a handball than today's one, but today's one was given. It's all subjective. I do not know why, in all the things they could decide to change, they thought a change to a handball. We know what handball is.
Yeah.
Why did you need to change it and made it more weird?
They changed it because of Vertonghen.
But the thing is this. I don't know what handball is. Today's handball that was given, Wan-Bissaka's arm is right beside him, right? Mm-hmm. That Grealish's one, his arm is coming forward towards his body. Now, to me, if you're putting the two together, I would say Jack Grealish one is more of a handball than the Wan-Bissaka one.
What about Ashley Cole? Not Ashley Cole. I mean, what's his name? The guy on Everton.
Oh, Ashley Young. I said that's what I mean. I don't know, because in the rules that's probably should be given. But then again, I don't know if they're following the rules. It's all subjective. That's what I'm talking about. They decided to change the handball rule when it didn't need to be changed. I know what handball is before this, and now I don't know what handball is. But onto yesterday's game, that point is not a big enough point for me to deflect and say that's why we lost. We lost because we didn't take our chances before that, and we have plenty to take. If we take those chances before City do anything, City probably wouldn't respond, or probably would have taken, not done anything. And that's our problem. But that's not a problem for this season. That's been a problem with Chelsea not finishing their dinner since 2017.
Let me ask you guys this.
7 years.
I'm going to ask you simple questions about some of your players.
Yeah.
Enzo shouldn't have played. I agree with CB.
Why?
But when it comes to your fan base getting criticized, you guys, Chilwell is a disgrace to your club.
It's harsh. And
the guy is a disgrace. He's single-handedly ruining your attack and your defense.
No, see, this is what the TL. Whenever you see the comment,
bro, I watched the game. He released the ball quicker.
Hold on. Igal, can I just quickly say, just on that before CB dives in, bro? I find that kind of like for me, I hate that narrative. These are very good players, period. Right? Like, and in that moment, I see Martinelli not do that. I saw Martinelli in the Chilwell position a game or two ago for you not play that same ball, the exact same, and he's an attacker, not Chilwell. Chilwell's you can argue, first of all, when you actually watch the replay back, that's a hard ball to play. And as soon as he takes the ball and he doesn't have the ball under control, the moment's gone. He basically has to hit that ball on the run, yeah, a perfect curved pass in front of a defender as well. So I'm like, I don't rate Chilwell, but I do think that it looked open, and it was just almost like it was a split second to do that.
He didn't even look, it's not even that he didn't even look up.
Yeah, no, but
that's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem.
That's the problem. That's all it is. For me, in order for him to do that, it would have had to. It would have been an exceptional piece of play if he managed to do it.
That's one guy. 1 second. There's two people. There's two people I wanted to cook. The second one is Jackson.
Yeah. Cook away.
How many chances do you need to score? When first of all, you're going one-on-one against the keeper, slot it. Pick a corner, try to slot it. If you're not going to do that, you're going to go around the keeper, hit it first time. He tried to go around the keeper and then pass it back for a cutback. Who goes around the keeper and then passes it back for a cutback? Never seen that before. Which is
why I said earlier, if you're a Chelsea fan that's older than 20, and this is not a diss to the player I'm about to say, if you recognise that Nico Jackson is this generation's Solomon Kalou, then you're going to understand what I'm saying right now. Solomon Kalou, when he came to us, exact same player. Scores goals, not a lot, but will frustrate the hell out of you, but still will do. Jackson's week can be highlighted in 2 games. Look at that goal he scored against Everton. The touch to turn. Fantastic goal. And his performance yesterday. I'm not the chance that gets me is the header. From 2 yards out.
He's very raw. Very, very raw player.
That's the thing. I don't fit for what we've actually bought him for. I think he's done well this season. You're talking about this. We paid 30 million for him, which is probably before the 2017 transfers went mad. It's probably about 15 million. What we've done for him. But the problem is, he's not number 9. He's not an out-and-out number 9. I think he'll work well with a striker. And we've seen him link up well with Palmer. But I think he'll work well off a striker. But the problem is, there's no one else. And that's where you do go to the ownership and go, you've left us high and dry because you didn't buy us a proper striker. Jackson is not a striker. He will get you he'll get you this range of goals. He'll get you like 25 GNA, be like something like 14 goals across all competitions and 8 assists or something.
Maybe that guy was Nkunku, and maybe that was the kind of.
That's the thing. But the problem is, I'm not going to bring up Nkunku because he hasn't played a lot for me to go, oh yeah, we really missed him. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't played. He hasn't played them. So I'm not using any.
Chelsea would have
not used injuries as an excuse.
I don't know if
but when you say. But we robbed ourselves. Man City didn't rob us. We robbed ourselves. We only got ourselves to blame. And I'm not putting it on the manager.
All 3 games.
Yes, in all 3, you're absolutely right. We've played enough that we should have beaten them yesterday, especially, which means I don't put blame on Poch and I don't put blame on the penalty because that would be too much of a deflection. We should have won it without that penalty. We should be going, we're through. And you know what? We should have had a penalty. That's what I should be saying right now. That's what it's not.
And there's one more point that I want to mention. If Vader is there, Pep Guardiola after the game was bitching and complaining about game time and the times that they're playing. He should have played on Sunday. I relatively agree. It doesn't make sense putting them on a Saturday when they could have played on the Sunday. But one thing you got to realize is Manchester City, you guys are a victim of your own success. You guys play a lot. You guys play in all these competitions because you won the Champions League last year. You're playing in more competitions than anybody else. Because you guys get further in the majority of the competition than everybody else, you guys play more games. Also, you now are going to be in the Club World Cup next season, even because they've changed the rules and they've made the Club World Cup more things. So you guys are complaining about games, but you're willingly entering competitions where you can play more games. So to me, on one hand, you have a valid point, but on the other hand, it's really because you guys are such a good team that you're going to play more games than everybody else.
True.
And you can't really complain.
Yeah,
I think
Wait. No.
You can't complain because you're playing more games because you're doing well.
No. We can't complain. And this is the thing. This is where not you, but those that want to point out
into the chat. Spam violins in the chat.
No, I'm not even doing that. But those of you that want to point out when Klopp was speaking about it, right? When Klopp was speaking about it, he had a point, right? It's not, he had a point, and now that Pep is saying it, well, no one listened to Klopp when he said it, so no one should listen to Pep. No, these are two managers that are expressing the same point. And when Egal gets to the point where he's going to be winning these competitions, his manager is going to have the same point. So it's not about don't complain about it. It's about pointing it out. Because again, unlike La Liga, and listen, you're going to hear this often from me, and there was just a little bit. I didn't get a chance because Sam kept interrupting when we were talking about the UCL and exiting out of the quarterfinals. Real Madrid are the problem with world football. Real Madrid are the big bad monsters. Real Madrid are the ones why the football pyramid doesn't work. Real Madrid are why everybody goes out and thinks that they need to buy the best players, because that's what they do. And they have the success because everybody looks at Real Madrid with their 14 UCLs and be like, that's what we want. They're the problem with world football. Now, this whole thing with regards to games now.
Whoa. Before you roll, and I love you, and I want to let you roll. I just wanted to say that if you say that Real Madrid are the problem, where do you think they got their playbook from? When Real Madrid are seeing you hoover up.
Jay, don't even do that.
Hold on.
Chicken and egg, man. All I'm going to say is chicken and egg.
No, Veta, think about it. How you built your squad and how Real Madrid are building their squad, hovering up the best under 24-year-old talent, regardless of where they play, is very similar. When you went and got Mendy and Bernardo Silva and Sane and all these profiles, what's the difference between them going and getting Bellingham and Tchouameni and blah, blah, blah? To me, there's no difference. It's the same principle of cherry-picking the highest-rated players under a certain age and getting them.
Stop this. You got platinums like I do, all right? You've circled the sun just as many times as I have. Real Madrid started this. Real Madrid were the ones.
No. Real Madrid were doing Galacticos. Then you did bringing in the very best young player for a certain age profile for a position. And then Real Madrid started looking at what you were doing and thinking, actually, this is a better policy than buying Galacticos.
Are you annoyed? Are you annoyed that there's another Man City that you're not the only ones doing anymore? Because I'm pretty sure when you were the only ones doing it, you were sitting there with your feet up, and now someone else is doing it, now you don't like it.
If anything, the players that Real Madrid are buying, most of these players, you're in for too. You're in for a number of these players that Real Madrid are buying. It's just
you wanted to do Bellingham last summer.
There's basically another team that has just as good a strategy as you, just as much money as you, but they've got more prestige than you. They've got more prestige than you. That's why you're annoyed.
No,
team can do what you're doing.
Let him finish his rant, and then we can actually rebuttal.
Yeah, let me deal with this because this.
I've given him an ability to constructively edit his rant now.
No, I'm not re-editing. I'm not adjusting anything because Jay had to come in and step on what I had to say because he didn't like the flow. He was like, "Nah, Bader, I can't let you run with this because they're gonna all understand it." So let me throw this at you. Real Madrid have been doing this. It's not a fact of Real Madrid have just started to go after youth players or younger players. They've been doing it. Real Madrid have been spending more than everybody else, right? I'm trying to point out is when you have that example in all of us, well, actually not all of us, because I haven't been looking at it this way, but when all of you are brainwashed to be like Real Madrid are the standards, you're dismissing all that they've done. You're dismissing how much they keep spending. You're dismissing how they have the largest wage bill. You're dismissing how they just go and poach and get the best. And everybody believes, Real Madrid has to be a destination. If you're not an aspiring or ambitious player and you don't want to go to Real Madrid, what are you thinking? Because they have that lore over everything, you dismiss it. But they're the problem with the football pyramid. They are the problem with it. Now, when you have another club like City being like, you know what? If I'm trying to compete, if I'm trying to win, I got to take some elements of what I've been seeing them do for years and years and years and years. They can easily go out and get the 27, 28 plus established superstar, no questions, no doubts. I got to maybe go after them a little younger because I can't compete with them like that. Everybody already knows that going to Spain is the destination. Nice weather, beaches. Who wants to go North England? Who wants to go where it's cold and rainy all the time? So I got to go after maybe a younger kid, a player that's less, maybe doesn't quite have that influence yet. So now Real Madrid, okay, yeah, I agree, Jay. Now Real Madrid are like, nah, I'm not just going after the older established players. I'm actually going to cop and get the supply of City and get them younger too. That's what I'm trying to point out. The problem with the pyramid is Real Madrid. Now, with regards to just Surfer, stop shaking your head. You know,
no, but why are they the problem?
No, but Veda, the thing is, before you say that, but like
Jay, Jay, you gotta ask me a question. No. You gotta ask me a question.
Let him literally answer that question. We'll move on.
Igal, they're the problem because is there anyone else that does it like Real Madrid?
Do you know what I find funny, right?
Who in world football moves like Real Madrid?
Do you know what I find
Nobody.
funny, right?
So you're just upset because it's a team that's better than you.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset. What are we talking about?
You know what this reminds me of? If you like horror film, this is like Freddy Krueger claiming Jason's doing a bad
Once again,
thing.
I did this exact same speech earlier in the season about Man City. You guys remember this?
Yeah.
I did this exact same speech about Manchester City earlier in the season when they came to all of our stadiums and they were parading around 5 trophies. By
the way, Veta wouldn't be saying this if his players could actually take penalties, by the way, midweek. He wouldn't actually be saying any of these things.
I've been saying Real Madrid have been the
Vader, this is not salt.
Rubbish.
This is not salt, but this is a calculated chess move. You know what you're doing? You know what you're doing? You're using a different tactic. You're basically trying to absolve yourself of blame by blaming them.
No, I think a little bit deeper than that. Actually, I think.
Oh, here we go.
I can actually see it. No, I can see it because Veta. I know Veta now. I know him, and you know what Veta's doing right now? Yeah, he's indirectly criticizing his club, but people can't see it. He's indirectly because what he's saying is he's almost saying, listen, what Real Madrid are doing now, they've come into our zone to an extent, and they're doing it. And
doing it better.
Are they doing it better just because they're doing it better? Or are they doing it better because City have started doing it a little bit worse?
Right. They've taken what we've done and put their own twist on it. And I don't like it.
My thing is City wanted Bellingham. Yeah. The Camavinga City are about. The Tchouaméni City are having conversations. So I believe that the pool of players now, Real Madrid and City are looking at similar players often. Yeah. Because that's what happens because Real Madrid have a joined up strategy now. Yeah, they're not like Barcelona.
You know what the crazy thing is, though? We haven't even spoken about Liverpool. How did we forget about Liverpool today? Sarab's going to have to go in a couple minutes, so let's just speak about the Liverpool game. We'll come back to this in a second. Sarab, you there? We'll speak about it. We'll speak about it. I'm telling you right now. But yo, Sarab, are you there?
Yes, boss.
Talk to me, bro. Liverpool won today. How'd you feel?
Do you know what? Of course, I'm happy that Liverpool won, but I just, as much as I don't want to dwell on the past, it's very hard to enjoy any victory now because we are not in control of our own destiny. We've allowed a team like Man City. Look at Veta, what he's just put in the background there. He's got the FA Cup there. He's got the league. He's got the Champions League, the Super Cup, and the Club World Cup. That alone is the reason why I can't be too optimistic. Now, any fan, regardless of who you support, is going to enjoy their team winning. Wherever you are in the league, you're going to enjoy a win. A win is a win. And the buzz you get from a win, it's the best, one of the best feelings in the world. Now, we've gone to Fulham away. A lot of people are saying it has been a tough game, a place where Arsenal have lost, Spurs have lost, Brighton have lost. They give Chelsea a good game. So it's not an easy ground to go to, Fulham away. And Liverpool have not won there in the league since 2019. So breaking that duck for me was also very, very important. The issue I have now is we are chasing probably the best team in Europe now. And to topple them, it's going to take a lot. And
so do you agree with Trent when he says it's pretty much the league is done?
I never had Liverpool to win the league anyway. I actually had Arsenal to win the league based on what they done last season, how impressive they have been during the year. But Man City, they just turn it on like this. And I've seen this story so many times, going with battles with them for the league title, seeing Liverpool lose the league on 1 point on the final day twice. And we play the same opponent again on the final day. We play Wolves again. And we all know how this story ends. If Man City get in the groove, it's very, very difficult for any team to stop them.
I think Man City have a psychological edge over you guys.
Of course, I think they have a psychological edge over anyone. Arsenal as well, because of what happened last.
100%, I agree there. But the reason why I say that is because from your fan base to your players, I even seen an exclusive today from Trent, and he specifically said it's hard to think City won't win it.
Yeah, it is, because they are first. They are in control of their own destiny, and you have to always. Klopp has said this. You always have to. I don't watch the Arsenal and Man City games because I always expect them to win. I always expect them to win, and that's why before the Arsenal game kicked off, Klopp was asked about what result do you want between Man City and Arsenal, and he said, "I hope they both lose," because he always expects both of them to win. So, Man City are the team to beat. Now, I still have Arsenal as favourites. I'm not going to change my opinion. 6 games to go. They might not win the league, but they may. And I have to hold on to hope. Vea, you should know. I as a Liverpool fan, I have to hold on to hope because that's really all I have at the moment because we are not top of the league. The only thing I would say,
what made you a believer?
The only thing I will say, I don't buy the game in hand hype. I'll tell you why. Because game in hands are not automatic points. You have to still play those matches. I always say, regardless of the circumstances, I rather have points on the board than games in hand because you could then go and lose those matches. But us on the other hand, Arsenal and Liverpool, we've got the points on the board. We're okay.
You want to know something?
Now it's on you to go win your games. And before Man City play again, Liverpool play in the Merseyside derby on Wednesday, where you play on Thursday. So we can increase the gap by even more. And then that puts pressure on Man City to go win their game. And who knows what Man City could do. And we've seen it in the past. Man City are really, really good under pressure.
But we also play on Tuesday. So
exactly. That puts the pressure on Liverpool. And that then, in turn, if both those teams win, that puts the pressure on Man City to go and win. And Man City have won title races when there's one team. Now there's 2 of us.
You know what? I'm just gonna bring Sam in a second, but before I do that, I'm just gonna say, for me, it depends. It depends what day, how I'm feeling that day. If it's cold outside, I might say game in hand. If it's warm, I might say points on the board. Depending on which situation I'm in.
I think it depends who you play.
I'll keep for 100 because I've been in situations. I've been in situations where there was points on the board against Tottenham, and I said points on the board is better. And I've been in situations where games in hand against certain teams, and I said games in hand is better. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm biased, and at times I don't have a clear-cut stance on this because I think depending on who you play, like Man City, game in hand for Man City, I think is banked 3 points almost.
But the thing is, though, it depends. Games in hand, Sareb's right. I could have 2 games in hand on someone, but it's away at Anfield and away at the Etihad. So what does it matter then? Do you know what I mean? It's like it doesn't matter. I'd rather have the points on the board and roll the dice if they're going to win or not, like that. Even
there you go. You know, Sam is here because he heard Vader was saying some stuff about Real Madrid, and he immediately had to jump on. Yeah. So Vader, do you want to reiterate what you said just so Sam knows?
Reiterate. Sam heard exactly what I had to say.
No, because I'm watching the game, my man. So Igao just messaged me. So I want you to say everything. And I'm watching El Clasico, by the way. So this better be something worthy of me coming on now.
Real Madrid are the problem with world football, is what I said. The football pyramid is nothing, is garbage. It doesn't exist the way it should because of Real Madrid. Madrid,
what did you say? The football doesn't exist? What?
The football pyramid does not exist because of Real Madrid. They move and operate outside of this football pyramid. And if you're not familiar with the football pyramid, it's that the great teams, the successful teams feed down and make it successful for the other clubs that are developing with regards to the football world. Real Madrid for years have been the most spenders. Real Madrid for years have been the ones poaching. No one doesn't know the class of the Galacticos. Nobody does not know of the Galacticos. That was done on purpose, and you guys are actually bragging about doing that again. So that's what I was telling Igal with regards to Real Madrid. He was also trying to say, and Jay and and everybody, and a Surfer not so much, but he was trying to say that City have been doing it for years, and I'm upset that Real are now doing it. No, Real have been doing it, and City want to be successful, so they've seen what Real been doing and are trying to do it themselves. But the beginners, the originators, where this all began, the chicken and the egg, Real Madrid.
All right, so let me get this straight. Igal and Winter Surfer, you see, this is what I call, someone that hasn't really understood and someone that is actually so mad that I knocked them out that he's going at the club like this. Do you know what it is, Vea? Let me explain something to you in blatant English, my friend. It's not our fault, that these big clubs want to move like top 4 clubs. You see me, my bro, we move like an elite football club, we spend, all right, because you have to spend to compete. But there's a difference, my man, You see, if you're going to complain to me, Arsenal,
There's no complaints.
have spent... One second, I'll let you learn, all right?
I know, but just don't categorize me the wrong way. I'm not complaining.
No, but let's get this straight. You're calling my club out and saying we're the problem. No, mate. The problem of world football is one thing, all right? It's the clubs that want to move unserious, If you're going to say things like process, project, this type of stuff, and then you want to go and buy crap stuff, well, I'm sorry, mate. That's your fault. That's not my fault, all right? We move like this, very simple. We want to win stuff. If you want to come here, you have to win. And what do we do to have to win? We spend money and we spend on top quality. Because guess what? You buy cheap, you buy twice. But let me tell you this. Don't come on these platforms say that my club is the issue in world football, because it's not. The issue in world football stands for one thing. And Winter Surfer will tell you this more than anyone, Because his club, I called his club the Real Madrid of England, my little brothers. And why? Because they moved like me under Roman Abramovich. It's this simple.
Why is
if you want to compete, no, it's this simple. If you want to say what's the problem, go and look at these owners that buy these football clubs and wants nothing but money instead of success. That's not the problem. The problem is you want to sit here, blame it on me because I've been dominant for so long, because my club actually gets what the aim is, my fan base gets it, and we don't get sucked into process and project and this type of stuff. So what is the issue then? Go and blame these other clubs for not doing.
But hear me out.
Actually, the thing is as well, and let me just make this clear for the last time, all right? This is the last time I'm going to say this. If your clubs were moving seriously, all right, actually took more responsibility, we wouldn't be dominating like this. It would be more competitive. It's not so competitive now because a lot of these clubs go down the process, the project, PR ways, and that's why you get left behind. It's that simple, all right? The game is the game, my friend. We have moved like this always. We're never going to stop.
Cool. I see Surfer nodding his head like you're saying something that I wasn't saying. I've been saying that you're the ones that spend. No, sorry. I've been saying that you're the ones that spend. I've been saying that you guys have been doing this from the very beginning. The point is,
the issue then?
Relax. The point is, everybody makes City the bad guy for how they spend. Everybody says that City are the ones ruining it. But I was making the point, if you're pointing the fingers at anybody, it's Real Madrid. If you're happy to do that. Because I'm not doing anything new that you guys have not been doing. That's the point I'm trying to make.
We're going to let Winter Surfer go, and I'm going to respond.
And here's the problem I have with what you said, Veta.
Okay.
Why do you care what others do? But embrace the hatred and the heel. Okay.
No. If it's accurate, cool, but it's not me. No, I'm not the originator.
No.
I'm not doing that.
I would do this. I would do this, Veta. I would do this. My simple answer would be to every other fan who's not a Man City fan is show me your trophies. Because I don't care. When we were under Roman Abramovich doing well, I didn't care what others thought. I embraced the hate. I love it.
That's okay. Winter Surfer. Let me just explain
your two teams are what I want my club to be run as. I want my club to be run like Real Madrid and Man City. That's what those are the two best clubs. Well,
Vader.
I don't want to be mislabeled. I don't want to be mislabeled.
Let me just make this clear.
Just so you know, the monster. I don't want that.
No. 1 second. Let me just make this clear as well. Let me just make this clear to you as well, my guy. All right. I don't have an issue with how City is run. I don't have an issue with that because the thing is, I know a lot of clubs that spends huge amount of money unsuccessfully, and we've already given City plenty of credit for the recruitment. The same goes for Madrid. Why do people credit my club so much? Why? Because we recruit and we spend it the right way. Because you know what it is, Winter Surfer's club under these new owners have spent over $1 billion, but they're still in the shithole. And why? Because they've not spent the money wisely. They spend money on kids,
You
yeah,
guys are
on
missing the
players that are
point.
not good enough and they have no experience. All right.
You're missing the
So when
point.
people want to sit there and say, no, but Vader, this is the thing. If people want to come out here and say you're the issue, no, my friend, I am not the issue. Vader is not the issue. We know what the aim of the elite sport is, and we aim to
My
succeed.
whole
If you want to
point.
be up here,
Okay,
one
Sam,
second.
that's cool.
If you want to be up here and you want to compete, cool. Go ahead and spend the money, spend it wisely, and actually aim to win. But if you're gonna aim to be a top 4 club and you don't really care about winning, well, cool. But stop saying that football is not fair. It is fair. It's just you that don't want to compete. If you don't want to compete, well, then sorry, this is what you deserve. Then don't come and blame me, all right? Because your club's in a mess, yeah. And I'm having my
Their club
time,
is not
yeah?
in a mess.
No.
I think
No,
he's generally.
these clubs, these fans that complain, their clubs are in a big, huge of mess. Same with Man United, Chelsea, and the likes of Tottenham's, and even Arsenal's for a bit before, and all that sort of stuff. All right, but it doesn't matter because my club is up here competing, and we always will be. All right, and I'm having my time next week in the semi-final in the Allianz, and soon, hopefully, at Wembley, and no one is gonna take that away from me when I win this league title as well. We're gonna always be here. If you want to be here like us, go ahead and spend the money.
Are you still in the
and
cup?
have a winning mentality.
Did you win the treble?
Sorry?
No, they lost Atletico Madrid in the cup.
Oh, okay.
Atletico.
I was gonna
the
say,
treble. I do believe we will have a shout for that next season. With
Vader,
Mbappe and these
I'm gonna
sorts-
ask
and
you a
these
simple
sort of players.
question. Is he misunderstanding your point?
Yes,
What
because
is
my
your
whole
point
thing,
then?
because my whole point, and again, he cleaned it up at the end, right? He cleaned it up at the end. Surfer kind of adjusted, I get it. Jay was moving fraudulently when he was trying to say that I'm upset because Real Madrid are trying to do what City's been doing. My whole point was I get pointed at, and Surfer's telling me to embrace it. I don't want to embrace this. He's telling me that I should embrace being the bad guy, being the one that's spending the most, being the one that's winning trophies. Of course, I enjoy winning these trophies, but don't point the finger at me and saying that I'm ruining football. Don't point the finger at me and saying that I am
But
ruining
who is
it.
aiming the finger at you? Who is aiming that at
Sam,
you? Who
okay,
is
maybe
doing
you're
that?
not privy to these conversations, but this panel knows with regards to the Prem, City are the bad guys. City are ruining everything.
Yeah, but
okay?
why? Why? Because everyone else is not serious. That's their fault. That's not your fault. I've been saying this for
That is
time.
fine,
It's not
but
your fault.
if you're going to point the finger at who started this, who's the example, who is spending and doing it big, who has the success, and why another club is going to try to reach that point, it's Real Madrid. Was the whole point that I was trying to make.
If I tell you that I actually managed to see one of the people that worked at Man City when I went to the City Arsenal game, if I tell you that they were coming out there saying they aim, because they've been inspired to look at a club like my club, they've been inspired the way we are run, the way we are winning, and they want to achieve that. What is wrong with that? There is nothing wrong with that. At least
Sam,
aim for the best. If you're not going to aim for the best,
I don't know if you're listening to what I'm saying or if you're dealing with
no.
others.
I agree with you, but my point is to you. This is all I'm going to say to you, bro. Stop caring what they say. Just tell them, listen, it's not my fault your club is run shit. It's not my fault, all right? If you want to be run better, all right, demand better and go and demand your own. Just say, listen, change the model, perform like you should, and compete. If you're not going to do that, then piss off. It's that simple. It's not my fault. It's not your fault. We didn't cause this football pyramid bullshit. We didn't cause it. They have caused this by not aiming and doing the right stuff. We are doing
all I'm
shit.
saying. All I'm going to say, Igal, if you want to move the conversation on, it's up to you. All I'm going to say is Manchester City is an adaptation to what Real Madrid had been doing. We are not my point with regards to Jay is we did not start this. We've seen the success, like you pointed out, and again, from a board level, it's always SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. They look at what can we do and how can we improve. And Real Madrid have been doing this at the UCL level, and they're like, okay, how do we have to move to do that? We are not the originators, is the whole point I'm trying to make. If you're going to point your finger at a bad guy, who made the Freddy Krueger example?
But once again, who gives a toss who started this? Why does anyone care who started this thing? Why?
It's Real Madrid and the cause and effect. The cause is Real Madrid. The effect is Manchester City, and we obviously aspire to get to 14 UCLs one day as well. But it's Real Madrid as the example.
But can I before you go? It's like, but Vader, when I was comparing you to Real Madrid and saying that Real Madrid have similar approaches and stuff, when did I ever criticize you? When did I ever say it was a bad approach? When did I ever say it wasn't?
I was mad, or you said I was mad or salty because Real Madrid.
I was merely saying that to me, what it looks like more is you've deviated more from that clear path that you had a few years ago, and it's maybe managerial excellence that's keeping you in your spot rather than like when I look at players like Kovacic and Nunes and stuff like that, these are players that you never would have bought. Like Real Madrid would never buy these players. Yeah.
Nope.
And I'm saying City used to not buy these players, but you started buying these kind of players. And I'm just saying there's a slight deviation from the bulletproof plan that you've had over the years. That's all I'm saying. Which is probably a discussion for a different point, which is a broader conversation about your transfer policy and what is or what does.
Yeah,
because now you've got a multi-club model, potentially your approach has been tweaked rather than just buying single players for one place that Real Madrid can do.
We can't do like Real Madrid.
Exactly. That's what. So it's not. I'm just merely saying that they operate in your space and they pivoted their model to closer to your model, in my opinion, over the last 5 years.
They've moved to our model from an efficiency standpoint, but they still break off big bank with a Bellingham last season. And now they're talking about
you know something? Call it mentality or whatever.
Well, is Haaland's not a similar type of signing?
I view Manchester City. I view Manchester City and Real Madrid and all these clubs that are at the top that are competing on all fronts and consistently doing it. That you need to inspire to be like them, and you need and not criticize them to the sense where they are the problem. What you can say is though, you need to knock them off their perch. That is what I say. I'm not sitting here saying Man City is the problem. I'm sitting here saying we need to stop Man City. Same way you should be saying we need to stop Real Madrid. Not that Real Madrid is the problem. I think that's the better way to word it.
I want to be like
whenever I hear a City are the bad guys, to Surfer's point, I'm going to deflect and say no, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not accepting. Not even a deflection.
No. One second. You can be the main villain.
They're saying that I'm Gus Fring, but he's Heisenberg. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm like, what are you talking about?
The thing you guys need to realize is, Vader, in your story, you're a hero. But in everyone else's stories, you're still the villain.
Yeah,
I feel like you left. I feel like that was a very nice movie reference. Finish off. You probably should have closed the door on this segment.
You go. I want to go because I want to watch that Classico.
Yeah, you have a good one, man.
Wait, the Classico's on.
Yeah, it's on now.
Yeah, they're playing now.
No juice.
I think that's what Vader's saying.
Listen,
Vader's like, I don't even know these guys are playing right now.
Yo, Jay, you know what the reality is? In all of our stories, our clubs is all we care about, and everybody else is the bad guy. That's the reality.
No, it depends because sometimes somebody can force themselves to be the main character in your story, and then
they're just the annoying guest.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the thing is that like you're trying to run the narrative. Arsenal are trying to run the narrative this season that we're the main characters, and people are like, I'm not really ready.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. First of all, you're not gonna speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Yeah, I'm like, listen. At the end of the day, to force
we gotta go though, bro.
Yeah, no, the narrative is the narrative.
That's clean.
Anyways, I think this has been a great show. Somehow we always find a spicy topic to end off with. Yeah. It's been really interesting the last couple of days. I gotta give it up to Vader. Vader, you brought your A game. Jay, you kind of been chilling the past couple of days.
Well, we've not played this week, so and obviously I'm off the back of a 4-0 Newcastle, so there's not a huge amount for us. And Villa have won again, so now it's 6 points and a better goal difference.
You want to know something? So, me and you are gonna be the stars of the show next time because we're gonna be playing North London Derby.
Also, there was no Man United fan to rinse for like 45 minutes.
What happened to United fans
Andrew,
today?
before you go, give me your prediction for the Arsenal-Chelsea game.
Oh yeah.
Heart or head? Heart, I'll go 2-1 to us. Head, I'll go 3-1 to you.
Yeah. I think you can get a draw. You know, I actually think you can get a draw.
Fine.
Because my opinion is really just not what
we concede goals at home.
Yeah, I was gonna say for me, I was like, when I look at Chelsea, I look at Bayern, I look at Villa. Yeah, I see similarities with these teams. I see similarities in how you can play the game I can see similarities in how you can
I
hurt
can
them.
see a lot of missed chances from both sides in this game, though. I can see
I
a lot
think,
of missed chances.
but what you have to understand is, I think Bayern and Chelsea are quite similar. Yeah, in terms of like,
What?
well, no, let me like, you're not seeing them like
Not how they run.
No, because you're rewriting Bayern because they knocked you out. The narrative going into the game was not Bayern were going to put you out. It was you going to put Bayern out. Yeah, you wanted Bayern. Don't give me what now when you're like, bring me Bayern, going viral on the internet.
Bring me Bayern.
See what I mean? Yeah. So my point is that now you lost to Bayern. The narrative's like the big bad wolf. Yeah. But going into the game, you wanted that smoke. So all I'm trying to say afterwards is when I look at Chelsea, the similarities in terms of the functionalness of the side, the fact they're capable of good games, but they're also not. I look at the wingers. I look at fast wingers. I look at like they could play a mid block and counter you. How Bayern. I look at a lot of the characteristics that Bayern had in their team that were able to beat you. Chelsea
Interception's going to be.
They exist in
quick
Chelsea
turnaround.
as well. If Poch watches the Bayern games and says just set up like this, they will get something from the game because they have the players.
We did that in the first game. We did that in the first game.
You know something? Similar to the game against City.
When they 2-0 up against you, when they drew
And
with
Sanchez gave Rice the ball.
Don't forget that, Igal. Like they had you rattled in that game before you drew back to 2-2.
Gave them the goal.
Yeah, you know something? It's gonna be interesting. All I know is, do I do my infamous combined 11s or do I retire those for the rest of the season?
I do them if you want to stand.
If I do a Chelsea Arsenal combined 11,
on business, Igal. That's the question.
It's funny you've put the word combined in your 11 there, like you're going to put any Chelsea player in there. Do you know what I mean, or something? Like
you know what? There's a case. There's a case for two. Malagusto maybe left back.
Mamo even put him in at right back.
Yeah,
Wow.
Gusto left back. Cole Palmer. I might squeeze him in left.
Cole Palmer over Saka.
right wing.
No, I'm gonna throw Cole Palmer out of position.
You're going to put him as a false 9, aren't you?
You know, this is the funniest thing, you got, because the thing is that you refuse to actually ask the question of who's had a better season, Palmer or Saka.
Yeah, that's normally a question. That's normally
you need to ask that question rather than play players out of position.
No. I'll give you the honest answer.
Igal won't ask until Saka's had a good game.
Based on expectations in the league, Cole Palmer's having a better season because
who's had a better season? Periods.
Saka.
Whoa.
I did like the way Palmer left Rodri for dead in that first half.
Don't forget, Saka's doing it in the Champions League and the league. Cole Palmer's only doing it in the league.
See, the problem is, Igal, is that
you can't play Europe.
That's my point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Igal. Cole Palmer is joint top scorer, one-off top assister.
Yeah.
I think any metric, Saka takes penalties too, so it's not even like something we can level at Palmer, but not Saka. So we have to almost take that to one side, and it's like objectively speaking, that's the decisions you need to be making. And I think a combined 11 would be a lot more fun than just putting Palmer left wing. If you actually had a 5-minute breakdown on who's had a better season and then pick one of them. Do you know what I mean? As in and own it. Because you can't even put him as a 10 because Udogaard's there. So you want to drop Udogaard?
No,
you drop Udogaard if you want.
Play 2-8.
Not playing 2-8. We're not playing 2-8s because you're scared to make a decision.
No, but this is how people do their combined 11s. They shoehorn people in. Anyways, we're out of here, people. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. And it's been a great show. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.